So, a question that we need to answer is how could control be good for your child? There's a whole book on this, compiling all the research, and it's fantastic. But we're just going to give you a brief overview of the main concepts that you need to understand. Now, let's talk about brain development and the control center. So, if you can see this picture of the brain, or if you're just listening and you've seen a picture of the brain before, all the way down at the back of our brain, so the back of our skull, is what they call the animal part of the brain. This is where all of our emotions come from and our drive to just do what feels good, to eat. It controls our hunger cues and all of those different things. And the reason why it's called the animal part of our brain is because we act more like an animal when we're using this part of our brain, that it's not about higher reasoning and ethics and morals. Rather, it's just about getting our needs met and being really emotional. This part of the brain develops first. It's closest to the heart, it's easiest to pump blood to, and it develops really strong from the time that our babies are born. Now, the reasoning part of our brain, where we make logical decisions and we do things that are wise and ethical and moral and take other people into consideration, or we're thinking about what's actually best for us, is all the way at the very, very front of the brain. It develops last. Now, it only develops if it gets exercise. So, this part of the brain is the very furthest from the heart. And the only way to get that part of the brain to start working is to be given lots of opportunities for thinking, for problem solving, for critical thought, for ethical dilemmas, morals, all of those different things. So, we want to give our kids lots of opportunities to make decisions and see what happens when they make decisions, because that is going to exercise that front part of the brain and help with its development. Now, it is really important to know that that part of the brain doesn't fully develop until a child is in their mid to late 20s, depending on if they're male or female. Females develop faster than males do. So you are going to see your kids exercising this part of the brain, but still seeming kind of brain dead. And that's why. But they won't get any better unless they are given an opportunity to exercise some control and see what happens when they use it and do that for themselves. Now, we want our kids to be exercising self-control, right? We have so many parents coming to us saying that that's what they want. They want to see their kids using self-control. Now, the only way that this happens is if our kids are given an opportunity to use their control and see what happens as an outcome of using that control. And after they try something and it doesn't go well for them, or there's an uncomfortable consequence, then they're going to see, ooh, I didn't use that control very well, so I need to use it in a different way. Now, another reason why it's so important to give our kids control is that this is what has been studied for 5 decades to be proven to be the most effective. That we are partnering with our kids to give them control and opportunities to learn and to grow and to think for themselves, and more of those opportunities as they age. And so having some confidence in that healthy research that's been done to prove what's most effective, and trust the process, that even though it's hard to let go of control and let our kids have it, it really is what's best for them long term.